Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So we're going to be doing a little Q&A today. I have a bunch of questions from my Instagram. If you have any more, then just comment them down below and I'll do another one, because I feel like these are quite good, because I do get a lot of the same questions over and over, so it's an easy way to answer all of those. I am going to be doing another Q&A, but it is questions that I get asked in my comments, because like I say, I get multiple of the same, but it's where I've filmed like different videos and I've covered different things, so some people might not see that I've done a video on it. So there are just some common questions, so I'm going to do another one on that, because some of the videos that I produced like literally over a year ago, I didn't necessarily have the answers to those questions, so when people ask them in the comments, it's something that could then be answered in a video. And then it means everyone will see it rather than me just replying to this one comment. So that will be coming up because I think that'll be quite helpful. So we have a bunch. There are a couple where they're a little bit like there's a spelling mistake, so I'll read it out, and if it was one of yours then just let me know what you meant and then I can answer it. So the first one is, how has baking been going with the rise of living costs? So this is actually a very interesting one. I recently redid all of my costing, so I've redone my cake prices and I've put up things like cookies and brownies you probably would have seen on my website, because one, people have been telling me that I'm too cheap, and also I have noticed that I am not making as much money because things are just more expensive. So like butter has gone up. I think butter used to be like £1.40. At one point it was like £1.20, and now it's like £1.75 or something, like £1.75. It's just going up and up. And also it depends what sort of things you're using. So like for drips and stuff like that, if you're using chocolate, that's cheaper, but if you're using like the white chocolate spreads that you get from like JM Posner, stuff like that, they've gone up as well. Like I literally just bought one and a massive tub was like £30, so it is quite pricey. So yeah, there's just so many things, so you just unfortunately have to increase your prices, and hopefully people are happy to pay them. I also had to up my rent, so like I pay my mum rent, that's gone up as well. So unfortunately, again, in order for me to be able to pay my rent, I also need to increase all of my prices. So yeah, you just have to rework it out and make sure that it's all correct, because obviously if ingredient costs are going up, then you need to then charge more. So yeah, just make sure your costings are out there. But yeah, it is very annoying, and petrol is killing me, because for those of you that know, I work at the gym 3 like afternoons a week, and it's in Hemel, so it's like 25 minutes from me, so petrol is just killing me at the moment because I use so much getting there, but it is worth it, so that's the main thing. What is the best colouring for black buttercream? So the secret to this is that it should have cocoa powder in it. It makes it a lot easier to get it darker. I never do black buttercream if it isn't chocolate. If someone wants like a vanilla cake, then I do usually advise them to have a chocolate coating on the outside, just because it is easier. 9 times out of 10 when people have had black cakes, they've always been chocolate flavoured. I think there was once or twice where I've done like a vanilla one, and I either gave them the option to have a chocolate coating, or I advised them that it will have a lot of colouring in it. So I said that obviously because you know when you bite into a cake and it's black and sometimes it makes your tongue black, I basically said that. I was like, it will have a lot of colouring in it, so I can't guarantee that it's not gonna like stain your tongue, basically. So I don't usually recommend it, but and also like you can put that much colouring in it, but for kids and stuff it isn't good because of the amount of sugar in it. So yeah, I usually try and avoid it, but I usually use Colour Splash and Colour Mill for black, just because those are the main brands that I use. But Colour Mill I find is really pigmented, so you can get away with using a bit less. But yeah, like I say, I usually advise them to go for a chocolate like buttercream if they want black. How do you keep your brownies from sinking in the middle? I don't know if that's something to do with your oven. Usually, I mean, I've never had that ever happen. When you say sinking, mine usually rise, and then obviously because they're so gooey in the middle, the whole thing sinks, but not like a drastic amount. I would say maybe like 0.5 of a centimetre, so like what, 50 millimetres? I don't know, 5 millimetres? I do not know my measurements, but yeah, half a centimetre, it will usually go down ever so slightly, just where it's risen from all the ingredients, a bit like a cake, but then when it gets that gooiness, when you take it out of the oven, then it sinks a little bit, and then that's what makes it nice and like fudgy. But yeah, it shouldn't be just sinking in the middle, if that makes sense. It shouldn't be like a hole, and if it is, I would probably say that that is your oven. Does it do it with cakes? Because if it does, then it will be your oven, if it's like an all-rounder issue. How do you market and advertise? Literally just my social media and word of mouth. Like, word of mouth is huge. I've actually realised this recently. So I did some post-show treats. So because I work at a gym, and it's a bodybuilding gym, there's a lot of people that do competitions for bodybuilding, and because they have to do like a 20-week prep where they can't have anything bad basically, and they are on a very strict diet, a lot of them are now competing over the next like 2 months, and they're all ordering like post-show treats. But someone had one, and it was a special request that I'd never done before, for a cookie pie, and he absolutely loved it, and he has been raving about it all over his Instagram, all in the gym, like telling loads of people. And now I've got something like 8 people that I know from the gym, that are all ordering this cookie pie for their post show over the next month. Bearing in mind these are like almost £30 each, so that is a good amount of money, and I am super happy, and like I can't thank him enough for promoting it. But that is all word of mouth. Like, I didn't say anything about that. That was him saying how good it was, and everyone just seeing the photos of it and then them wanting to buy one themselves. So yeah, it is a huge thing. I think also you never know who knows someone, so always just make sure that you're giving like the perfect customer experience, even if things annoy you, because the amount of people recently, like, it's been happening so much, where everyone that's been ordering cakes recently has always been saying they've either had one before from me, or they had a slice of a cake at a party which was made by me. So it is huge that you give a good experience and like customer service and all of that, because yeah, a lot of them have said, I've had a slice of the cake and they said that you were really amazing and actually like facilitating the cake and sorting out the order and like really helpful, so then they wanted to order from me more. So yeah, word of mouth is huge. But yeah, I never do any paid advertising, literally just posting on Instagram regularly, posting on my stories, because if you're not posting then people kind of forget about you a little bit. So just trying to be as active as possible and just like making stuff that's interesting. I recently got some new backdrops, so I'm going to be changing all of my cake backdrops so that they're a little bit more like polished. I have like a black background that I use at the moment, like part of my kitchen, which is just like all clear, and I place them there, but it's just a bit boring, so I wanted something that looks a bit more like bright and like clear for people to see. And also just like when you're doing like reels and stuff like that, trying to make them interesting. But it is so hard. Like, I've really been trying to up my reel game, and it is so difficult. I don't know how people do it, but yeah, I've really been like trying to make some good reels that people hopefully like, because I don't know what I'm doing with them, so I'm just like trying my best. But yeah, just social media, word of mouth is the best way, I think. What is the best buttercream for a cake in this hot weather? All I do, because I don't add any, I always say this, but I never add anything else other than icing sugar and butter. So I just use salted butter and icing sugar. I do 500 grams of butter to 750 icing sugar, and if it's not stiff enough then I just add more icing sugar. That's literally it. So if the weather is really hot, I might add maybe like 850, 900, and then that makes it stiffer, and then it means that when it's hot it won't sort of melt as easily. But also when it is ridiculously hot, you kind of want to use ganache if you have the facility to. I want to start doing this, but but I don't think I'll actually need to till next year now, because I think most of the heat wave is gone. But I do want to perfect like a ganache covering recipe, because I feel like that's a lot thinner and runnier than like what you could necessarily fill with. So I need to perfect that so that when we have a heat wave next year probably, I can use that rather than buttercream, because then it won't melt as easy. It like sets nice and hard. Are you going to the cake and bake show this year? So I actually spoke to Lauren. Lauren is one of my cake friends that lives in my town, and I went with her last year, and we spoke today, and we're going to go on the Sunday. I'm probably going to go on the Saturday as well, but it's her little boy's birthday. I think it's her little boy's birthday. I think it's one of her kids' birthdays, and she's got a party on the Saturday, so she's not going to go, but I think I'm going to go to both, so, because I don't work on Saturdays, so and I also wanted to go both days last year. Like after we went for one day, we were like, oh, we probably should have done both. So yeah, even if I go on my own, I'll probably still go. So yeah, I think we're doing both days. Well, I am anyway, but Lauren will be there on the Sunday with me. Have you put your prices up due to inflation? Feel like I'm covering ingredient costs. Yes, so as we spoke about with the rising living costs, you just have to put it up, unfortunately. Everything is going up. I mean, people are happy to pay more for petrol, so in theory they should be happy to pay more for everything else. Like, they're paying more for food, so are we. So yeah, it should all go up because everyone else's stuff is going up and they're happy to pay it. So so we are on to the last few. If you could only keep 3 cake tools, which 3 would you keep? It would be a scraper, a Finch Bakery scraper, because I can't do a cake without it. A spatula, a metal spatula, because you can actually do quite a lot with that. You can ice a cake with it, like stack it. You could also mix stuff with it if you really tried. Oh, and a nozzle, a 2D nozzle, because that is the nozzle that I use on everything, because then I could still actually ice cakes. Actually no, a turntable. Okay, a turntable, a Finch Bakery scraper, and a nozzle, because I could even stack the cake with the Finch Bakery scraper if I was that desperate. Like, I could just put buttercream on it and like smooth it down like that, but hopefully I don't actually have to choose that. Right, so another one, your buttercream cakes are always so flawless, but would you ever try frost form? Ever try frost form just to see what it's like? What is frost form? Let me have a look. Frost form. Oh my god, okay. So, I don't know if you can see. They are the little things where you put it around your cake, and it's like a guard basically, and you just pipe buttercream in it, shove it in the fridge, and then you peel it off and it's meant to be smooth. I feel like I would make something that is this easy to use difficult, so that's why I haven't tried it, because I've seen people use it and I just look at it and I'm like, I feel like I would mess that up, even though surely I wouldn't be able to. So that's why I haven't got one. And also, like you say, like, thank you, but they are pretty smooth. Like, I always think my cakes are pretty smooth, so I've never felt the need. But if you struggle, then maybe it's something to try, because they always make it look so easy. But also I struggle to understand how it doesn't get like air bubbles and stuff, because you're not smoothing it, so you're literally just piping it in there. So surely when you take it off, you'll have bubbles where like the air has like been trapped. I don't know. Interesting. We'll have to see. What is my star sign? It is Leo, and I resonate with it hugely. It's Leo season currently, and my birthday is coming up. I'm literally having like a birthday month. We are now in August. I'm filming this in August, even though I asked for these questions like 2 weeks ago, so sorry about that. But yeah, my birthday is on the 18th, so oh my god, it's nearly two weeks tomorrow. till my birthday, and I have big plans for the cake. I still haven't decided whether it's a 2-tier or not. I might make 2 separate cakes, but like put them on the same board. I'm really loving like separate cakes at the moment opposed to like 2 tiers. Or I just make one gigantic single tier cake. Like I want it to be really, really tall, but I don't want it to fall over. So yeah, I don't know. There's so many ideas that I have for this cake because I want to make it insane, but we'll see whether it turns out the way I want it to. But yeah, there will be some videos on my birthday cake, and there's also loads going on that week. I've got a 2-tier cake on the same day as my birthday party, and my cake is going to be big, so yeah, that'll be interesting. So yeah, we will see, but there'll be some more. There's going to be a lot more videos now. I always say this, but I have sparked my motivation, so there are quite a few more videos which I think should be helpful over the next few weeks. I also finished editing the podcast, just to put it out there. The one I did with Rachel, which I literally did in May, so it's been like 2 months, but I edited it. I actually lost the memory card that it was on, so I couldn't edit it for ages, and then I found it, and then it's taken me about a week to edit. But yeah, the podcast is edited, so that will be up this week because it needs to get up as soon as possible because it is way overdue. The last one, how do you have so much energy? You're always doing so much. I do not, trust me. I run off of no sleep and caffeine. That is literally, that is me. I live off monsters, and yeah, I need to get more sleep than I am. Recently I've actually been getting quite a bit of sleep, so we're not doing too bad. But yeah, I do not have energy. I just make it look like I've got energy. Whenever you see me, I'm doing stuff, so it probably looks like I've got energy, but then as soon as I stop doing anything and I sit down, I like crash. So like now I'm sat down and I'm so tired because it's the first time I've like sat down today. But yeah, I do not have tons of energy, but we push through. So that is all the questions. Thank you guys for submitting them. If anyone has any more, pop them in the description, like down below. Not the description, you know what I mean. Pop them in the comments. Can we tell that I haven't filmed a video in a little while? I'm so out of sync as what to say. But yeah, pop them down below and I can always do another video. And like I say, there are quite a few coming up. I've got a lot of plans because it's my birthday soon, so there's a lot of videos and like cake orders and stuff like that coming up, so there will be some more interesting ones. I have a few interesting ideas to do with my mum. She doesn't know yet, and I can't tell her the full extent, and I also can't tell you because she might be watching this. But yeah, there's a few that I'm doing with my mum. Like I say, she doesn't know yet, but there are some cool ideas, so hopefully you like those as well. I'm going to try and get those out around my birthday because they're kind of birthday related. So yes, it's exciting. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video and I will see you later. Bye!